everybody. I'm Dr. Jun. Today, we have a Dr. Kara. She's going to really explain to us, to help us to expand our awareness about connection between the emotions, energy, the frequency, what's really behind the scene of feeding against those emotions. And Dr. Kara is an integrated medical doctor in PhD, and she has been seeing all the clients, there's so many different illnesses and disease that come to receive her help. But Dr. Kara is so brilliant understanding the frequency, why those hidden messages in the body, the emotions, and the connection to the energy that really translating into physical suffering. So Dr. Kara, thanks so much for joining us, and really kind of dive into this, all those amazing topic, amazing information. This is really meat of all the people suffering, isn't it?
It truly is. And yes, thank you again for having me on. This is one of my favorite topics to speak about because it literally affects so many people. And when you think about the dis-ease in the world, and I say it with dis-ease, meaning that the body is out of ease, there's always a reason for that. And that reason can be many, many different reasons, but oftentimes that dis-ease first begins in the epigenetic, the environment, the thoughts, the thinking, the environment that you're in, whether that's a stressful job, a stressful relationship. So these things start to manifest into the physical body.
Yeah. So this is where all the challenges happen, isn't it? The external environment, because always, often, most of the time, we're not aware of what's really happening in the external environment, right? So then this all keep coming at you, and we receive those frequency within our consciousness or into our cells, and then they create this difficulty dealing with those type of extra charged energy, through the nervous system, isn't it?
So I think it's first important to realize that we are an energy being, we are a spirit being first. But what happens is it's something that we call, both of us learned this at Quantum University, something called downward causation or upward causation. And current in the medical science today, oftentimes we look first at the physical. And we try to look at the symptoms and where are the symptoms, and let's treat the symptoms, when in actuality, this dis-ease is starting from the top down. And so if dis-ease comes from the outside in, then healing can also come from the inside out, because we are that energetic spiritual being, and our bodies were created to heal itself. So if you think about maybe the last time that you had a cut, and you didn't do anything about it. Your body just automatically knew to heal itself. So it healed your cut. Maybe you had a little bit of a scar, but your body automatically knew. You didn't have to do anything. It took over for you because it's automatic. But when it comes to specifically, we think about chronic illnesses. So these are things that develop over time. Pain, inflammation, even things like diabetes, heart disease, these chronic diseases, they develop more often from that outward, as you call it, that outward frequency that can come from anything in your environment. And it does this because, as we talked in previous episodes, we have layers of our energy body. And the physical layer is what we can touch and see and feel, and what we experience the symptoms to be. But that started first in what we call the vital body. So the vital body is the second layer, but this is the layer, think of this as the storage data. This is your computer system. So everything that's getting input into that vital body, which comes from the environment, this is taking a snapshot and an imprint, and this is then directing the message into your cells. So yes, we have the mind, we have thoughts, we have even higher levels, but it's really in that vital body, which can be measured, by the way, in the vital body that is affecting our physical body.
Thanks so much for that. That's great point. There's a neuroscientist. That's one of the more forefront of our topics we have called PNEI, psychoneuroendoimmunology. Even the Western medical arena of scientific research shows that when we thought the psychology, your mind, minute we thought the fear, minute we thought about the worries, then now in the brain creating a particular neuropeptide hormones. So the hormone is the energetic signal that sends the messages through nervous system, through the hormone system, which literally says the electromagnetic frequency, send that into the organ system. And the organ system, which is the endocrine centers, all the hormone center receive those signal, the excessively or deficiently, then that start creating those disease or out of the harmony, isn't it? That's perfect. Yeah. So let's talk about connection to the both vital energy and then the emotion. I know that I heard about you using this amazing quantum technology called AO scan. How is the quantum technology, this AO scan, the behind the scene, how that works?
Right. So the AO scan is a fantastic technology that, yes, I use in my practice. And so this technology does many different things. But in relation to your point of the emotions, it specifically has a program that can detect subconscious emotions through your voice. And why the voice? Because the voice produces a vibration when you speak. And so we all have different tones and different pitches. And so within the system, in the program, it can identify if you are holding perhaps subconscious excess fear, or maybe lack of self-confidence, or maybe lack of self-love. It will identify what that is. And based off of that, then we know, as for Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, different emotions are connected to different organs. And so we can look then, based off of what that emotion is that you are subconsciously holding, are there any organs or systems that are being affected by that currently? And then there's also, have you heard of it? It's called metaphysics. Yes. And metaphysics, it sounds, new age, kind of hokey, but if you break down the word meta and metaphysics, it really it's technically kind of talking about quantum physics, because meta is something outside or bigger or greater than. So it's bigger than physics, which is quantum physics. So metaphysics is really just an old way of saying the quantum physics or the quantum source or the quantum root cause of, let's just take headaches, for example. If you have a headache, depending where you have the headache, if you have the headache in the front, right side, left side, there's many different ways to determine what could be causing that headache off of metaphysics. And so this terminology we use today, and it's referred to as quantum physics. So for example, I have this book that I do keep with me at the office, and I use it quite often. It's called The Complete Dictionary of Ailments and Diseases. You have this book?
Yes.
It's so good because, and it's always spot on. So just like Rife, Dr. Rife took the time and spent his life developing the Rife frequencies and calculating those and documenting those. This is also a complete dictionary of all of the possible metaphysical symptoms and manifestations. So let me just open it real quick and see what one says. So for example, if we look at, let's see, find a good one. Okay, blood circulation, or diabetes. Here's diabetes. Yes. So diabetes, for example, when you think about diabetes, it's defined as an overabundance of the sugar in the urine. And so when you think about diabetic, what is happening with the diabetic? They are not processing sugar, right? So the metaphysical manifestation from someone that would develop diabetes is a lack of enjoying sweetness. So they're not able to process sugar or sweetness in life. And so a diabetic will develop over the years of, I mean, and it's a very deep, and really should have someone that's a professional walk through this with you. Because if you think about not being able to experience the sweetness, probably throughout life, they compensated with extra sugar, right? So, and not all the time, but most often, especially type 2 diabetes, is a result of obesity. And that is a medical scientific fact. Obesity will cause type 2 diabetes. So how did they become obese? Overeating. Overeating why? Trying to compensate for this lack of sweetness in their life. And so that's just one example of how the emotions play such a huge role in manifesting of disease, but also healing of disease. So it goes both ways. Once you understand how it works, then you can apply it to self-healing, self-regulation.
That I love how you pointed out. This is brilliant. You know, that book is amazing. And I know that Louise Hayes, she started that in her book about, you know, she would kind of gently explain about the connection between different part of the body and different organs, how they manifest in different emotional connection. And so as the couple of the major books, the Metaphysical Anatomy, there's one Yvette, she was brilliant. I mean, she summarized that well, very close to the book as well. So many people, the doctors, healers, and practitioners, over the years of studying, researching it, we can really see the pattern, like Chinese medicine, 6,000-7,000 years. They have been observing the human that, you know, if you look at this type of emotion, what type of disease they're coming from, right? In physical manifestation. And you can't really separate those two because it's pretty obvious. And if physicians are, Western medical speaking, they notice if the patient, observe the patients, if they're constantly worrying, lack of sweetness or angry, I'm sure most people have blood pressure issues or high cholesterol. I mean, very obvious. I haven't seen somebody who are very calm and gentle and say, by the way, I have a high blood pressure. I have never seen that.
Yes, it's so true. And, you know, I also think about the liver, you know, even certain organs, what those livers you mentioned, or what those organs produce. So you mentioned hormones and regulators in the body. Well, certain organs produce those particular hormones, like ovaries and thyroid. And so it really does come down to the emotions. But even before the emotions, this is what's really key, is it's the meaning. Because you know, there could be something that I receive differently than you and will not manifest in my body because I give it a totally different meaning. So it's the meaning that we attach. And where do those meanings come from? That comes from the memories. So we have, everything is based off of past memories. So your past memories have a program that tells you this is bad or this is good. And from that determination, your body will react, and it will react in one way or another. Think about a person with a cancer diagnosis. Why do some people have a better survival rate than others? It truly is partly mindset. What meaning? When you went to the doctor, how did they present that information to you? Was it in a fearful way? Was it in a positive, encouraging way? That is going to be a life or death situation for many, many patients in what is the delivery of that diagnosis, because how your patient receives it in the meaning that they attach to it is going to determine how the body reacts.
Nice. I think to me thank you so much, you know, to explain to us. That is, I think, the most pivotal point about all the, you know, how we manifest, right? That one of the psychiatrists, her name is Dr. Kelly McGonigal. She's the Stanford research doctor in psychiatry. And she was very curious about the term of the stress. And so really many people focus on the research of stress as a negative, right? So she said, well, what if that somebody interpreting that stressful situation as a positive? So let's research between the people interpret it as a negative versus positive in the same circumstance. Then she found out from the research 80% of population, they interpret it as a negative, but 20% population, they interpret it as a positive. Those people that use that information to be the foundation of, okay, I'm going to use this stressful situation to be more accelerated, go beyond what I can create, what I can manifest. So then she is able to observe that hormones, positive person produced oxytocin from the brain. Oxytocin, what it does to relax your heart, relax the blood vessel, right? It really heals many areas of the body versus a stressful situation, cortisol, norepinephrine, right? Then the adrenaline, all the hormone, for a long period of time, that can turn into the negative, then affect to cholesterol, the heart disease, and even cancer, diabetes. All those things are contributing factors. That is the significant point of all that.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. And it's measurable. So, but I think, in closing, the greatest lesson that we can learn is that when it comes to self-healing and our emotions and memories, and at the end of the day, it really truly is the understanding of who we really are and what the body is capable of. Like, we are, yes, human in a physical body, but we came here fully functional. As a baby, your lungs breathe on their own, your heart beats on its own, your body heals itself when you get a cut or a burn. And so having that faith in yourself, your ability to self-heal, is what is going to give you an advantage over being, reaching that optimal health and staying your most healthiest to your highest potential.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for summarizing that. Really, that is the way of start healing ourselves. Really know thyself, right? And then really to embrace that, the God given our really ability, the genius is who we are. That's the pure being. So thanks so much to Dr. Kara, and everybody who are watching this, please come to quantumdecoders.com/can. And we have a PDF there, the emotional connection to the chakra information, the meridian system, how the organs and emotion they connect, and Dr. Kara's information, how we can reach Dr. Kara. So thanks so much, everybody, and see you next time.
Bye for now.
Bye.